Mike, check 1 2 1 2. It's the Y2K collector coming at you after a long day. It's been what a day. But I did get some pickups in, and I'm gonna show these to you. Now, the thing is, many of you know if you've been following the channel that I've actually been actively collecting all of the Marvel games. Now, whether they're just games based off of Marvel comic book characters, or games based off of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, just any game that I've wanted to add to my collection, I'm actually actively picking them up, and I'm picking them up across a number of systems. Now, what happened with a lot of these Marvel games is that many of them were released across multiple systems, and in some cases across multiple consoles. We all know that Sony has a habit of re-releasing games from the PlayStation 1 to the PlayStation 2. Then they'll release a game on the PlayStation 2 and release it on the PlayStation 3. And then, the same thing. You got PlayStation 2 games that are on the PlayStation 4. They love doing that stuff. But there are some cases where the game just played better on a different console. And there were some cases where, some games were only available on certain consoles, at least when it comes to the PlayStation. So I want to kind of show you a couple games, and there are instances where games just were better on certain consoles. Now, the first game that I have here is The Incredible Hulk. Now, in my opinion, this Hulk is actually based off of the Hulk movie, the second Hulk, because you had the first Hulk that was really it was more like comic booky, and it was like in the early stages of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So I think that Hulk movie might have come out even before Iron Man, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but that was like the first one, and that one wasn't that great. I really didn't get the whole plot of that one. That one wasn't that great. But the best Hulk movie, like the best solo Hulk movie, in my opinion, was the Hulk with Edward Norton. And I actually thought that Edward Norton was going to be in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And look, no knock to Mark Ruffalo. I think he's a great actor. I just feel like Edward Norton being in like Avengers would have given it a whole different feel. It would have given it a completely different feel. And I'm a huge fan of Ed Norton. So, I would have loved to see that. And plus, I felt like this Hulk feels more like Hulk, feels more like the Hulk you see in the comic books. But be that as it may, they did come out with this game, The Incredible Hulk, and this actually released not only on the PlayStation 3, but it also released on the PlayStation 2. Now, I initially was going to get it on the PlayStation 2 because it was a lot cheaper. But this is one of those cases where you can see there's a huge difference in graphics as well as gameplay between the PlayStation 2. And if you want to know what I'm talking about, just kind of like look it up on YouTube. Just Google some footage of the Incredible Hulk on the PlayStation 2, and then Google that same footage on the PlayStation 3, and it's a world of difference. And it's reflected in the price as well, because the PlayStation 2 version usually goes between 10 and 15 bucks, whereas the one on the PlayStation 3 goes between 25 and 40 bucks. Definitely didn't pay 40 for it. I think I paid around 23 for this copy. It is complete in box, so not a bad deal on this one. That's pretty much GameStop prices, but this is one that I wanted to add to the collection. It's a cool kind of like open world Hulk smash and bash game. So this is one that I was glad to add into the sheepfold. Now, this next game that I got, Hulk Ultimate Destruction, this is one that I actually had on the PlayStation before. This was like in my collection back before I sold off my whole PS2 collection. I still kick myself for that every day. Don't remind me. Yes, I'm an idiot. But I wanted to get Hulk the Ultimate Destruction back into the collection. And I almost got this on the GameCube. However, I like the way this plays on the PlayStation 2 a little bit better. I like the way it looks. And the feel of the game is just a little bit different on the PS2. So this is a Hulk that's more action-based, a lot more smashing and bashing in this one. And they did not release this one on the PlayStation 3, unfortunately, but it is a really, really good game. This is a fun one. This is probably the most fun Hulk game to play. So I wanted to get this back into the collection. Played it a little bit when I had it before, but I'm glad to have it back. And this one is definitely staying there. No option for the PS3 on that one. And then last but not least, this is a cool one. So there were a bunch of, Marvel games that were released on the GameCube and on the PlayStation. And, they're not that expensive, and Fantastic Four is one of them. So I was actually able to pick this game up complete in box for $4. It doesn't, I can't tell if that's water damage or if the artwork is just wavy. It doesn't look like water damage, but the artwork is a little wavy. The manual is in pretty good condition, so I'm not complaining about that. This is a pretty good copy. Again, $4. I couldn't be too upset for this one. And this plays pretty decent. I mean, it's an action adventure game. I don't think this got any amazing Metacritic scores or anything like that, but it is a decent Marvel game. It's another one to add to the collection, and there aren't a lot of like Fantastic Four games out there. I know there's a Fantastic Four on the PlayStation 1, which is just trash. I think there's probably a few others across a couple of the different systems, but the Fantastic Four that was based off of the movie with Jessica Alba and that whole group, it was available on a number of platforms. I chose the GameCube just because I've chosen the GameCube for a few of my other Marvel games that I've added. And I'm going to do like a review of all the Marvel games that are in my collection. I've got a couple more on the way, so I'll show those to you. But I've been finding pretty decent deals online. Again, $4. Hulk Ultimate Destruction for, I think that one was 19, and then the Incredible Hulk for 23. Not a bad deal for 3 decent Marvel games that are going to be added into the collection. And there's just a few more that I have on my list and a few more that I have on my radar that I want to get. Let me know down in the comments if you've played any of these, or if you have any of these in your collection. If you have like a preference on any of these, is there one that really stands out to you? One that you'd rather play more than the other? I think, when it comes to kind of collecting for the PS3 and PS2 generations, things are starting to get sticky, and I know that they're getting ready to release a new Fantastic Four movie. So, whenever Marvel gets going on these releases and stuff, it always impacts the games. Just like Wolverine, like the prices for a copy of Wolverine are like insane right now. I think the cheapest platform you can probably get it on is probably the PlayStation 2. I know Wolverine for the PlayStation 3 is really expensive. So just keep an eye out for those whenever you see them. If you happen to see them at GameStop, they may still be floating around out there. And let me know what you think of these 3 pickups. It's the Y2K Collector, and I'll be back with you tomorrow. Take it easy.